Hello and welcome to 4000 Accounting. I'm Watty, and today I am joined by Hull Seahawks owner and head coach, Mr. Matty Davies, former teammate of mine. This is not his first appearance. We've done this before, but it's the most recent rendition, and we look at the Seahawks now a little bit further along than when we had you on last, Matty. So welcome back, mate.
Yeah, thanks for having me, mate. Always a pleasure.
You were just getting your feet wet. You were just dipping your toes in when we last had you on.
At that point, I had no idea what was to come. Honestly, yeah, that was before the storm, mate. I think it was like fresh, and at that
Exciting,
point,
eh?
yeah, it was like, oh, we're coming back in the name and all that, and then obviously you get into it and you realize, oh shit,
It's a
you
lot of
know,
work, eh?
this is a lot to do. So, but. Yeah, 4 years in, mate, and we're getting there, mate. It's growing, and it's getting there. That's all I'll say. I think.
Uh, Obviously, part of it you were playing, and then you're not playing, and now you're doing this side of it. The question I get asked a lot, and I've been a lot further removed from the game than you have, is do you miss it? And part of it is always yes, and it's always the boys, yeah. But then
Yeah,
I do this, and I actually get to see more boys than I would if I was still playing. And we get to have half-hour chats before we come on, which you don't at the rink, and like, do you know what I mean? You don't get to do. Do I miss playing? Nah, the fuck. Do I wake up and not being able to walk and having a broken nose and my fingers been smashed to bits and
yeah,
having a
literally.
pulled groin and having to leave the house at 8:30 on a Tuesday to
Yeah, yeah,
drive to Swindon for
yeah,
fucking being on the ice at 10 to
yeah,
get home at 1 o'clock? No,
yeah.
I don't. So is it a miss it, or is it like this feels enough of the void where you kind of still heavily involved?
Yeah, I think it's sort of filled that gap with obviously the boys and just. I think for me, obviously being in the role I'm in, I've had to sort of pull away from. The boys in terms of like everything is all you know how it was like just everything's banter, everything. Like there was
Yeah,
never a
every
time
word.
when it just wasn't banter. It was just like banter, and then it was like straight to work and then straight back to banter again. Like
Yeah.
now it's like, I've got to try, and because I'm coaching now, which I take really seriously, and I want to become better at that, but then also I pay everyone. So I'm like, I've got both of
Yeah.
it where I'm like, I've got to try and keep. And at the end of the day, I'm still only like 35, 36 soon. So I'm like not that far away from a lot of them, some of them. And I can be, like Huey, for instance, like, Huey's older than me, but like we just have such a good relationship that
Can lean
it's,
on him.
yeah, mate, 100%. And I'll say this, the last 2 weeks since that Bristol game, which everyone will have seen, sort of the interview and that. Yeah, it's
I was like, here's Matty.
yeah, literally there he goes.
Oh yeah, but hey, by the way, I fucking love that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't
I
be.
think people forget that we played for Pete and for fucking Ryan.
Yeah, exactly.
We've been
Literally.
dressed down like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, mate. Honestly, people. I don't think people. This gets bandied about a lot, but I don't think people realize about how it used to be. But honestly, I can't say that enough to actually get it through to some people that are fans today and players even today. It is such a different world. Like getting absolutely destroyed by your coach back then was like a common thing, especially for someone like me, because I was a mouthy little prick. And
Yeah, Pete used to give it to you and fucking
yeah,
you.
just
I
like,
used to
yeah,
like. By the way, folks, if Matty, a very young Matty, and a very young Pete Russell as well,
yeah,
knew
yeah, it
like
was, yeah,
um, it was like a fucking sitcom. For us boys sitting in the locker room, and then
honestly.
Matty would go out and score 2 goals the next period, and you're like. Oh well, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like,
Ah,
all
well,
right.
yeah,
I remember Pete doing it to me. Oh, you might remember. We nearly had a fight in the fucking locker room,
I do remember that.
and
I do,
then I scored 2 goals in the third period,
yeah,
and it's the most Pete Russell thing ever. Walking up to the car
literally.
after because There you go, Whitey. Knew I'd light a fire in you. I was like, fuck off, Pete. You're lucky I didn't kill you.
Yeah,
Like, don't try and act like you like gamesmanshiped me up. He's
yeah,
like, well, I put you back on the ice, didn't I? I was like, yeah, you had to, mate. You really had to.
yeah,
But
yeah.
again, we come to work on Tuesday and it's forgotten, and we're
Yeah,
back.
that's it. That is the
We're
biggest
back
thing.
to
Like,
work.
yeah, like these sort of like full on blow ups happened all the time. Like, honestly, I remember like standing on benches and having like just thinking about some of the D men, like just from our time. I'm thinking about like all of them, but like Brathwaite would just stand there and just abuse you, like just be like, "What the fuck are you doing? You better get back in our zone, or I'm gonna fucking kick fuck out of you," sort of thing.
Yeah,
Like,
like accountability
and
101, mate.
yeah, literally, and and then like you say, literally after the game, he's like the nicest guy. Like done, it's just done. No one even follows it on. It's just yeah,
Just try to win a
over.
hockey game.
Literally, that is it. And it's just different now. Like it is just different. Like you are dealing with just. I mean, I think. Do you know what? I think I would say this as well. There's a lot more cameras. There's a lot more eyeballs on it. Just generally,
So
everyone's got a
so
phone.
so glad.
Like yeah, it's and it's just like different in that way. But then
Mate,
I
I'd have been
think
on 4,000 and counting every week if I was still fucking playing.
yeah, mate,
I'd be like, what he does
100%.
this,
Yeah, yeah,
video from 40 angles.
yeah. But
Yeah,
it'd
I
be
get it.
like that'd be absolute like blockbuster. Do you know what I mean? If they
Yeah,
had a camera on some of this shit back then, it's like. Talk about viral. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, like I remember. I was just thinking of the times back then. I remember we were short-handed away in Telford. You remember this game? We had the big massive brawl,
Oh
and
my God, yeah.
for the short-handed, Pete put on myself, my brother.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember two of the other boys on our team that definitely like to fight, and we had four forwards on the penalty kill, and then
Morsey won it, I think. I think it was
oh maybe
Morsey.
more like, but you know what I mean? Like it was just
Yeah.
you had different ways of policing the game. Obviously, we talked a lot off air. We
Yeah.
were talking about like coaches being different. I think the mentality has been different. We talked on, like I said, just saying there, talked off air about all the craziness, Matty, that's been going on with these fucking kids trying to decapitate each other and cross-check each other's heads off. And obviously, you're like my fourth episode or fifth episode, depending. I can't remember which way I've set the schedule that's coming out this week, and we've kind of been talking to everyone about it. I wanted to get your opinions on it, and something that I said to you off air that I've discussed in previous pods. You don't want to be the fucking guy that changes the game forever.
Yeah.
Like, let's just remember that, folks. And people might think I'm being dramatic. Might think I'm saying this for effect. If that lad had got fucking paralyzed in the Solway Whitney game last weekend, there would have been criminal charges, there would have been lawsuits, there would have been a struggle to get insurance. If we did get insurance, you're coming back in face cages, the hitting's gone. Like, you're playing with fire, fellas. So, what do you make of it
Genuinely.
all, Matty?
Yeah, I mean, like you bang on, mate. Like if people don't think that that's a genuine possibility, you're just out of touch with it because I think we're one incident away from something dramatic happening. And I honestly just look at some of it and think, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, them sorts of things. It's mad because back sort of, 10 years
Even
ago, say,
10 years ago,
yeah,
Matty, it wasn't.
yeah, 10 years ago, you just didn't see that. You didn't have that. And yeah, was there more fighting? Was it way more physical? Yeah, but you didn't get that. You didn't get like someone nearly breaking their neck. And I just think like there's got to be a reason why would someone think that that's okay? That's the thing. That guy, whoever's done that, the kid who did it, has thought I'm okay to cross check someone's neck. I just don't think anyone would think that's okay back in the day. Like
Here's
I
one
just
for you, Matty, that I've not thought of before. So I had my boy Bandy on today, and his episode's going to drop after yours. So you might kind of hear this cross. Everyone listening, you might hear this cross in kind of a couple of days. But Bandy put an angle in, and I thought of everything. Bandy goes, I think he slashes him in the arm, thinking he's going to turn around and he's going to cross check him in the fucking face. And I was like, yeah, actually, because if I chop a guy, I'm expecting him to turn around.
Turn round. Yeah.
And that cross check was already locked and loaded.
Yeah, he was doing it, wasn't
S-
he? Yeah.
So maybe, and that was another thing. He was doing it. Like,
He was doing
boom.
it. Yeah.
Whether he turned around or not, like he was getting it, but he could have had a broken neck if he turned around. Definitely would have had no teeth and a broken jaw. Um,
Just madness,
and I
mate.
think that would have been enough of an incident had either one of those scenarios happened, where the game is, we know it's finished.
100%. I mean, like, obviously, God rest his soul, and obviously, one of the shittest things I think we've seen for a long time. But Adam Johnson, that happens. Net guards come in compulsory. If you think that something intentional would to be to happen and wouldn't be dealt with in terms of insurances, the game itself even happening anymore without full cages, all the rest of it. Like you could keep going, hitting
No
taken out of the game.
contact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like you could literally, yeah, and no one wants that. No one, no one. So people have to remember that. I think.
There's a massive accountability factor that has to come in, and it has to come in from you guys as owners, you guys as coaches.
Yeah,
It has to. So, an idea that Dr. Victoria chucked out this week, which I fucking love. So, both of the boys, Jay Lucas and Tom Wakefield, are both going to have to kind of undergo training, return to play sort of thing. That should be now compulsory in August. And whether you watch a video for a fucking hour or somebody comes down and you do one in Sheffield and all the Yorkshire teams go there, you do one in fucking Basingstoke and all the Southern teams come here, however you do it,
yeah,
before you can sign your registration form, you have to watch this 1 hour thing, and it's going to talk about fucking accountability. It's going to talk about taking not taking cheap shots, not risking finishing at all. That should now be just mandatory. And I think if they do it by video, it won't cost an arm and a leg to put that together. It can go out to every single club, and like this is the values of our fucking sport. This is what we expect. This is our drug policy. This is where you turn to if you've got gambling addiction. This is, start putting some player fucking safety
yeah.
in the game. It's not going to cost you that much money. Plus EIH and Ice Hockey UK, you've got a couple of quid in the bank. We know you have.
Definitely got a couple of quid,
The,
mate. Yeah,
the numbers aren't hidden. It's not like some magic
yeah,
thing that nobody knows the numbers. The numbers are there,
yeah.
and that's money well spent.
Very well spent. Yeah, mate. I think there's been enough things happen, haven't they, in the game, whether it's players, ex-players. I mean, something for me, like you say, AIH have got enough money. Something as hard hitting as why not fly Todd Bertuzzi out here to give a
Yeah.
presentation on the dumbest thing he's ever done, sort of thing. Like, I wish I never did it. This is what it did to my life. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
This
something
is how many millions of dollars, like in his,
exactly. Yeah.
because everybody thinks different. Some people think about the money. Well, think about how much money that man left on the table
Oh,
because of that one fucking incident.
ridiculous amount. Yeah.
What was it, 6.8 mil, maybe more?
Yeah. And I think I've read somewhere that he just the guilt of it, knowing that he never played again. I just don't think people understand the severity of how bad it is. But I also think you're right, mate, in terms of player welfare, mental health, all the drugs that are involved in the sport. Like we've seen it, we've heard about it. I think too long now has been sort of gone by where, there isn't, you know, I mean, everyone's talked about it, haven't they, for so long in terms of a players' union or something like that. I just don't get why someone hasn't done that, like an ex-player that's done really well in business or something like that, just to put back and be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do this and get this
Well,
going.
I'll give you all of the information when we get off it. Now, I'm in the middle of setting up a charity,
Yeah,
um, and it's focusing on a lot of the stuff that we have just discussed in the last 45 seconds.
yeah,
Okay, it's not going to be a players' union. It is not, but it is going to be somewhere where players can turn to. Now, obviously, I've had a drug ban. That is very different from. It's not about catching people doing drugs, because what we actually need is if someone's actually had the drug issue, catching them and banning them for 2 years isn't going to fucking help them because they're
no,
still going to have a drug. They're still going to have a drug issue. They're just now going to have probably a
probably
worse
make
drug
it
issue
worse
because
actually. Yeah,
because you've taken away the thing that they
yeah,
do. But what you have in professional athletes, and I think a lot of members of society forget that they're fucking 17 to 35-year-old men.
yeah,
Like just because they do a sport, they're
yeah,
just as prone to addiction as a guy that works in the office or on the spanners or
yeah,
fucking down the gym or wherever in
yeah,
society that the policemen, firemen. It happens to all sorts. Lawyers, doctors. Well, you think lawyers and doctors, some of them don't have cocaine issues. Of
yeah,
course. You think ice hockey players, some of them don't have painkiller issues or like and instead of just like catching them and chucking 4 years and 2 years up their hoop, let's have somewhere where we can go, right, we know you're struggling, man. Like, we know you're
yeah,
struggling. We're gonna we're gonna suggest that you put yourself in touch with my charity, and we can put you in touch with the right people. Or as a club, we will come to the charity for you, and we will be able to say X, Y, Z. And that's just like one avenue. The other avenues being like mental health and like well-being, player well-being,
yeah,
and that could be a death in the family. It could be something catastrophic in your personal life that you think you're fucking on top of, and you come down a rink and you lace the skates up and you go out and you go through the motions on a Tuesday night and you go through the motions on a Thursday, and then you're just fucking expected to suit up on a Saturday and Sunday, but deep down you feel like a bag of shit, and not having like a one true outlet, like go there. Yeah,
yeah,
any coach can say, yeah, you should like go check out Calm, or you should go check out, iTalk, or you should go check out whatever it may be. But if we have something that's specifically set up, and what will you plan to do, to be involved with the game for the players of the game and the officials and the coaches of the game, then that could surely only be a good thing. And it's something that it wasn't there in our day. We were lucky enough to have a player union. But in terms of any of the other stuff, I like mental health, well-being, addiction, head injury, head trauma. This is something that kind of gets swept under the rug by all the top leagues. Like, but now
it
you've
does.
seen it now with like the footy boys from back in the day, like headering
Yeah,
their
they're all
fucking
yeah,
pigs in footballs. Their heads are all like mashed potato now. They're all getting CTE. The
yeah,
American footballers that are getting, 15 concussions a year in the NCAA fucking season for four
yeah,
years straight. They got brains like Swiss cheese by the time you find out what's going on.
yeah.
So there is like issues that head trauma causes. Now, I think I said to Bandy earlier, I think maybe our generation might be the last generation that really had that because we did target each other's heads. Like, and it wasn't a rule then. Like, it wasn't a rule then. If you can't cross the head, can't cross the blue with your head up your ass, someone was going to stick your head into the ceiling. Like, and luckily now they've eradicated it from shoulder and elbow to the heads. But all of a sudden, we now just replaced it by fucking cross-checking each other and slashing each other in the head. Like,
Literally.
it's just a wild process. But having something like you said, Matty, I still think alongside what we're going to be doing, and when we roll that out, would still love to see a players' union come in alongside it. It is something that I looked at doing about 3 seasons ago. Matty, it's too much work for me on my own, my friend. Like the way I
No,
looked at it, it
this
needs to be it needs to be a team of people. Um,
100%. There's got to be.
it's
You're right, mate. And do you know what, mate? Whatever anyone says about, people trying to start stuff, what you've just said there and what you're trying to do with a charity, mate, that is like such a massive thing. And for me personally, I would say the clubs, I'll go as far to say the National League clubs and the Elite League clubs that have infrastructure money to do these sorts of things, the fact that the clubs themselves aren't doing more, because you said there, like any coach can say, go and speak to so and so, whatever. We both know when your coach is asking you, are you all right? You just go, yeah, I'm sound.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Playing.
yeah.
Like that's not the one.
Your
It
your
needs
arm could be literally
yeah, of
hanging off on by a
course.
thread, and you could be having the worst mental health breakdown
Yeah, your head's
ever.
gone. Like
If
your
your
head's gone.
coach says that you're right, you're like, yeah.
Yeah, sound. Yeah, of course I
What,
am.
you're gonna take me? You're gonna take me off PP? Fuck that!
Yeah, no,
No,
fuck yeah, I'm fine, mate.
I'm
I'll
brand new.
play. No
Like,
worries.
yeah, exactly. You don't want to be coming off that
And
unit.
that's it. It needs, the clubs from me, from my point of view, I think, and obviously me in this position, so I've got a girl that works for me at the gym actually, and she's a sports psychologist,
Oh,
as
amazing.
well.
I'd love to be
And
in touch with her, Matty. Actually, after this, if you don't mind.
yeah, no, and I've been sort of, we ain't done it yet, but individual players have been in touch, and I am going to roll out like a regular meeting with everybody. But like the thing is, it's one of them, that them things go, people sit there and go, "Oh, fuck, are we doing?" I think individually, if them
Until
players,
you actually really need it, Matty, and then you go, I'm
100%, yeah,
so glad that I
100%,
got made to go to this fucking thing before practice on a Thursday night,
yeah,
because actually 5 weeks later I had the balls to admit to myself and
exactly,
to her
yeah,
that fucking something's going on. And this is
yeah,
why the way that the charity is going to be laid out,
yeah,
it's going to be laid out so that you don't have to go to your coach and tell your
yeah,
coach. So you don't have to go to your GM and tell your GM. So you don't have to sit there in front of fucking 20 guys in the locker room and do it. You can come to us and you
yeah.
can say, do you know what? It's fucking on top.
Yeah, and that's what it needs, mate. Because it don't matter what you could say what you want, like people just have to talk. I don't care what anyone says. When you're in that room and then boys are relying on you to be there and show up, and the last thing you're thinking about is letting your coach down. Like that's the one thing you will like. We're just all inherited that. Like we just know we have to show up for the boys. Like that's just what we do. So. That's what it needs, mate. It needs a space where people can go and feel comfortable doing it without having that. You know what I mean? So no, it's
Takes
awesome,
any
mate. That's
stig
what needs it.
takes any stigma away from it, I think, Matty. And I think when we roll out and you see who's involved, um, I'm the thickest one on there by a fucking country mile, mate.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
so
when you know
we're in
it's
good,
good, though, mate. That's it.
yeah, we're in good hands, right? And not only that, like people from different walks of life, some smart fucking cookies, like real
Yeah,
smart cookies,
yeah,
um, and people that give a shit because we've been meeting like once a week here, folks, for kind of like six odd weeks, and it's something that you can see the passion in everybody. And
yeah,
just stupid shit like the name and the logo get decided, and then everyone's getting a little bit more buzzing. How are we gonna like the meetings are objectified? Like how are we gonna help people? Who do we want to help? Who's it gonna be
yeah.
open to? How do people get in touch? Where's the point of contact? Um, I've briefly run the idea by EIH, by SIH. They're on board. Like what
Brilliant.
you just said there, like, and
Have
what
to
we
be.
want as a charity eventually, like owners like yourself who clearly like the idea and are on board. So we
Yeah,
rock up at Hull one Saturday and we're giving out fucking flyers and hats and shit.
yeah,
But before that, we talk to both teams, and this is what we're here for. And
yeah,
you actually build up a bit of a relationship on a personal level, so that these people, and like me as an ex pro, and somebody that's had addiction issues, someone that's had mental health issues, someone that's had concussion issues, basically anything that anyone that's going to come to this charity is probably going to have gone through, painkiller addictions, fucking just about anything that you would have, I could have potentially, my personality says that I wouldn't have turned to that even if it was there back in the day, but somebody fucking would.
yeah,
Somebody had the balls to do it. I wouldn't have had the balls to do it. I wouldn't have had the balls to probably admit I had a problem. I just
yeah.
was
And that's it, mate.
bury my head in the sand and pretend it wasn't there. But I am now nearly 40, mate, and life is very different, and I have a very different outlook. And the having gone through those things, I want to be able to help people that are going through those things, and having clubs like Hull who could say, you know what, we'll we'll do a fucking
We'll do a
jersey for
game,
the
mate. We do a game for it. We
yeah.
do a game for all these different things. You know, you name it, cancer stuff, the pride. We do all these games, but for me, look after the
The
players,
players, the product.
look after the product. Like, yeah, for me, it's so important, mate. And I think I think that's brilliant what you're doing. And yeah, I'm all about it, mate. We'd be right behind it whenever. Yeah,
And do you know what? With the people that I know within the sport, and luckily a lot of them are from our kind of generation, and they
yeah,
know because they saw what happened to teammates, and they saw what happened to
exactly. Yeah,
boys, and saw what happened to fucking guys, and you can see. I'm of that age now where I'm still friends with like the 50-year-old dudes, and I
yeah.
can see the state of some of them fucking boys are in now, and they need something
Not nice, is
because
it?
it's so
Not nice.
no, but it's not nice because you're so far removed from the game at that point. You're like 10, 15 years out. So you
Yeah,
still want to play, still miss the boys. But now the head trauma issues and shit from back in the day are now coming. And you might not see it. It might be a Facebook post. It might be erratic behavior. It might be something that's completely against this person's character and humanity. It's not them. And then, like old man shouts at fucking cloud all of a sudden and their personality's changing and the leagues are never going to fucking admit that that's been an issue because you
yeah,
open your.
never.
We talked about lawsuits earlier. Like the minute you admit that there's a fucking issue, then the minute the hammer comes down, and I want to make it very clear to the leagues, this is not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to fuck you in any way, shape, or form, but
No,
we are trying to acknowledge that there is issues here and there,
there is,
and we
mate.
just want everybody to put on the same rope.
Yeah,
I promise you, we're not trying to fuck you. I really promise you, because I understand when you hear head injury and you hear trauma and you hear these words, they're scary words, yeah, they're scary words. But trust me, if you guys buy in, we're really not trying to fuck you. We're just trying to look after the players. The reason we're starting this is because the leagues haven't done it themselves. Like this should be a requisite to having a sport that as violent and physical and stuff like that as ours with manly men. It's like rugby league and shit. There's manly men, like tough fucking hombres. And in fact, there is a couple of rugby league charities and a rugby union charity that are in a very similar ilk to this. Like we did, obviously, we've done some research and done some bits and bobs on the back of it, to kind of try to look at sports that are similar to ours and levels kind of similar to ours, and it.
yeah.
I think rugby league's a really good one. It transpires across really well that a lot of their guys are going through the exact same shit
Mate,
that a lot
rugby
of
league's
our guys are.
massive. Yeah, rugby league's massive in Hull. I'm around a lot of people. I know a lot of people that used to play. Mate, I see people now still that like I know a bit removed from playing, and mate, it's sad. It is sad, but the infrastructure with rugby league is so that, and people that know that game's changed massively over the past
Yeah,
like literally 5 years, and it needed to big time because you literally look at the 50-year-olds, mate, and like honestly, there's just no way they should be like that at that age. And what they've given back to the game, the fans that used to adore them, and mate, the game's got so much to thank for these people. And the thing is, without someone like you, Nicky, who's been through all them shit things, this thing wouldn't get started. So like literally needs somebody like you that's willing to go, no, this is like way more important than everyone thinks. And
so
it
important, mate.
truly is.
I think one of the things that I've learned through doing this podcast is because, mate, I've understood we've had a good following for a while, and a lot of people have listened for a while, and you know, we've kind of dropped the players podcast bit, but it is very much still a players podcast first and foremost. I've spoke about IVF battles on here. I've spoke about addiction battles on here. I've spoke about my ban on here. Spoke about mental health on here. Like I put myself in a vulnerable position a lot of times, But they go, yeah, but what is had the second most fights in the fucking EPL history?
Yeah,
Like, and then they can go, well, if he can fucking do it, then and the amount of fans. You touched on briefly the Adam Johnson thing. 2 years today, folks. 2 years today. So rest in
yeah,
peace, Adam. Honestly, he's still like one of the most fucking heartbreaking things we've ever seen in UK hockey. But as you touched on, the net guard thing came in pretty much pretty quickly.
yeah,
We've had incidents where now fans have reached out, especially after the Adam Johnson thing, saying, "Oh, like you talking about your mental health, or you going on and doing the Matt Petgrave Adam Johnson chat on YouTube. It's allowed me to come on here and talk." And sometimes it's just getting the ball rolling, and everyone thinks, "Oh yeah, what is a fucking tough guy? He's a meathead." Yeah, part of me. I'm still a fucking human. I'm just pretty good at fighting. Like
yeah. Pretty good
it's
at
like,
fighting, and like you say, you've been through all the things. Like you've been
yeah,
through all the things, mate. So there is no one better placed. Like I said, you know how important this is. You've been one of the boys. You've been a fuck. I mean, I've played with him, mate. Like there was literally. I don't think people realize how like willing, like at any point, it was on. Like anyone, any player, any person. If anyone
I
ever
cared
got
about my teammates, mate.
you cared, mate, yeah. And like I can't tell you, like from my point of view, being like a skilled player, smaller, having someone like that on your team, it just none of that shit that we see with the fucking cross checks, none of that stuff would ever happen, like ever. And it's just like, yeah, mate. Like you say, it's a good, really important and good topic, and I think everybody from our era, if they'd admit it to themselves, they've probably been through some shit.
Some of
Do you know
it,
what I mean?
some of it, all of it, bits
Some
in
of it,
between.
all of it, like, and yeah, mate, like I'm fucking,
Well, how many boys when we played for Swindon that year were running train on trams like it was fucking day job.
yeah, I mean, like that, them days, everybody was,
Everybody's running it. Like
I
you
literally
talk,
don't, everyone,
and I don't think people really quite understand. Like obviously, I've touched on the addiction in some episodes, probably a couple of fucking hundred episodes by this point. So there's a lot of new followers. You're talking boys running 10 trams in the morning and getting up.
yeah,
Like they'll put you in a fucking coma.
yeah,
But go on and play a game, like fine.
yeah.
That's how bad it had got in terms of like
A lot of them
building
lads
up
like
that
wouldn't be
much of a
able to play.
tolerance.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been able to play, mate, without it. Some of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
because it just becomes that reliance, and
yeah,
your
just
tolerance is
yeah,
disgustingly off the charts.
yeah,
If you have to take, I don't know, let's say you fucking take a chop in a hand. If you have to take four tramadol, five tramadol in order for that pain to go away, you have a fucking problem.
yeah,
Like that's a lot of trams. Like now, mate, I barely touch a fucking paracetamol, ibuprofen in the last 7, 8 years. I
yeah.
barely touch a fucking
Just like
if
scared of it.
it's not even
Like,
scared of it, mate. It's just like I've conditioned myself into being like I do not need that.
yeah,
But
I'm not. Yeah,
even now, like if I was to, and I'd only ever take like a tramadol or something like that on a severe. Like obviously, I'm waiting on hip surgery, so every now and again it gets so fucking bad. Like I'm waiting on hip replacement. It gets so bad. There's cartilage on. It's bone on bone. I've got no cartilage, right? So sometimes if it gets tragic, and I'm talking, it needs to be like an 11 out of 10 pain for me now, because I'm pretty used to walking around at an 8 out of 10 pain. So
yeah,
it needs to get over the limit. Even now, like fucking 15 years removed from like the bulk of the addiction, three tramazoles don't fucking touch me, mate.
yeah. It's still like you've got a fucking tolerance there. Yeah,
I've got that like hardened fucking liver. I
yeah,
don't know what's going on. To
yeah,
to that, like that shouldn't be the case. If I've got a sore hip and I take 900 milligrams of tramadol, I should be on my fucking ass.
yeah,
Like, and
yeah,
that's
mate.
where it got to, mate. And people don't understand that was an actual thing, and that was just one season. Like you look across different seasons, and that happened when I broke my thumb that year early on. I broke my thumb, and I'd never even heard of tramadol before. Never
You
even
just
heard of it until that point.
days, mate. You'll be sound, and you're like, all right,
Brand new.
Yeah.
flying,
Oh,
lying in bed,
class.
itching my
Play with
face,
these.
like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Um, but it's having that fortitude now to have the balls to come on and talk about it, and I don't view it as having balls to come on and talk about it. I don't give a shit what people think, and I think that helps. Um, people have been getting at me on the comments over the last couple of weeks. Like, you're picking on the boys from the Northeast. I didn't fucking two-hand anybody in the face or cross check. I can't
Yeah.
help that they coincidentally both
Yeah.
come from the Northeast. Trust me, this isn't a Northeast bias. Like, I don't have a bias. But also, like, I've got thick skin. I played the game for a long time and I played the
Yeah.
role I played. There wasn't one bar that I went into where I didn't get fucking booed out of the fucking place.
Yeah.
Like,
Literally a
I,
nightly thing on it.
yeah, like, I'm pretty thick-skinned at this point. But I think what a lot of people mistake me for on the internet is like, even though I'm in this position of doing this, if you run your mouth on me and we see each other in person, it's fucking on, mate. That's just
Yeah.
you
It's
like,
still on. It's still
yeah,
on.
it's still on.
Yeah.
I'm still me. I haven't gone away just because I've got a fucking popular
Yeah. Yeah.
podcast all of a sudden. Like, and I think that's probably why I relate to some people because I haven't changed in that sense.
Yeah.
But then I relate to people because I have grown up and now I want to help other people by doing some cool shit along the way. And ultimately, what I want is that National League, for example, to get back to where the EPL was, and it's growing, mate. It's getting there.
Yeah. It's close. It is close,
It,
mate. Yeah.
it's getting there, mate. But imagine now that you've got all these other things that you have these when your players are feeling shit and they're down and they fucking go over
Yeah.
there and talk to them and things that we didn't have. But now you've got like skill coaches and skating coaches and
Exactly, mate.
fucking
Yeah. So the
strength
product
and
on the ice is
conditioning.
getting close, but off the ice, I think we could have done. Obviously, we didn't have nothing, but we get that to a real professional level. Then you've got a product that can like last. You know what I mean? And
Longevity is there.
that's what we all want, mate. Essentially, that's it.
Well, like we've got kids, our pals' kids have got kids, the boys that played
Yeah,
with us, for us, against us, their kids got kids. We want to leave this thing in a fucking better state than what we found it. And I'm not doing it from within the game anymore. I'm doing it from this side of the microphone and then doing it with the podcast. But you guys have still got the ability, you boys that are still right in the mix of it, to do that. And I think what's happening now, we're seeing the EIH and SIH have better communication.
yeah,
We're seeing them bang their heads fucking together instead of,
yeah,
going, whoosh, you're trying to do this and you're trying to pull the rope that way and they're trying to pull the rope this way. And all of a sudden the communication, just like something like this, I tell you that idea about the charity tonight. I can now touch base with you on that and all of a sudden, I haven't spoke to Mac about it, but I will, and I don't mind talking ahead of the game because I know Jamie McElroy. We started this thing together. I know if I then turn to Sheffield, you
yeah,
know, someone to give you a helping hand, Ryan. And all of a sudden, before you know it, like 9, 10, 11 teams from the national are all over it. And we get a game, we get a something like that because
yeah,
we don't want there to be any fee for the players. So we're going to be fundraising. We are going to be fundraising. We are going to be a registered charity, a non-for-profit. But the money we raise is going to allow you to send one of your fucking boys to us and go,
exactly, mate. Yeah,
he's XYZ, or vice versa. The player says to you, Matty, I, this is getting on top. I need to go somewhere.
yeah,
Because the thing is, none of these boys are getting rich. So if all of a sudden we go, yeah, we're going to send you some help, that's
yeah,
£75 an hour, please. You're like, fucking what?
yeah, exactly, mate. Yeah,
Whereas if we can eradicate a little bit, even if we couldn't cover all of it, even if we could cover 75% of it,
yeah. Even
now
if
all
it
you got to
like
do is
yeah,
pay 17
subsidised.
quid,
Yeah,
17 quid to go talk to a fucking mad specialist where you would have. Do you know, I don't know how it's going to work long term. This is conversations that are going to happen. But if everybody bought in, if every club in the
if
country
everyone
bought
did
in,
it's covered,
we
isn't it?
we'd raise a shitload of money,
Yeah, 100%.
and then we wouldn't be going, well, you need to pay 17.50 for the
Yeah,
session.
yeah,
We're going to
yeah,
go, right, this is covered, and
yeah.
and we could almost just protect our product. We could help our product. Um, I don't know how we've got onto this. I wasn't even supposed to be talking about this for another
No,
couple
but
of
it's
weeks,
mate,
but
it's so important, and for me. we play for all these different things and different games, and yeah, for me, it's one of the most important things. So yeah, it's worth talking about, mate, because it's I think it matters to all us lot that played and still in the game, but different things. You know what I mean?
It does, and I hope like the new school get involved, man. Like I hope they do get involved, and I hope they give it legs,
Yeah.
and I hope they benefit from it, and I hope the game benefits from it, and I hope we, as I say, we leave the game in a better position than what we came into it. Let's talk about ice hockey and what's happening in the whole Seahawks land. Bit of an up and down season. You kind of made me look a little bit daft at the start of the year there. I was like, yeah, Seahawks, it's fucking Seahawks, they're flying. And then there's a bit of a slow start, but you came out and put a couple of results together over the last couple of weekends. What's it been like for yourself, and what's it been like for like in terms of results? Are you happy, pissed off? Where are you standing?
Yeah, I think. Do you know what, mate? It's been one of them where I think at times, you sort of scratching your head a little bit and um sort of like, yeah, this is sort of a similar issues to maybe what I saw last year. But then I'm like, no, this team. This basically, I would say that overall the performances on the ice have been pretty much where I'd like them to be. We fell short of a couple of results. I would say that in the game we played really well.
Just
And
doesn't reflect on the kind
yeah,
of
that's it. Like
on the
we went to
result.
Peterborough, and I've never gone to Peterborough and dominated. We went there, and I think it was like 60 shots to 30. Like it was crazy. So there's
That
a lot.
Levine kid's good, eh?
Yeah, it's what I mean. So it's like he's very good, mate, very good. But like it's things like that, and I think it's easy to, and I look at Leeds and speak to Rai a lot, and he says it's been coming these losses or whatever, or the loss. So it's like he's the other side where I'm like I've been happy with the performance to a point, and then fell away from the result, and then he's probably not as happy
Pissed
as
off with the
yeah,
performance, but
but winning when they're not playing well. So it's like which one's better? I don't know, but. I think for me, what I wanted to do in the summer was get younger on D. The D core I've got are a lot better skating D core than we had last year. And the game now is just skating. Like it's so evident now that the game has become such a skating bias game. We've seen Leeds win 3 years in the bounce and they've been the best skating team. And I just think
yeah,
so that was one thing I really wanted to sort of to nail down and I was and I think that's been a positive. I think, the four import forwards that's been sort of a big talking point for us. And look, I think I said it at the time, look, I might get this wrong and I'm still sat here going, I still might get it wrong. It might be wrong. So I'm not like daft to the point
trial and
of
error though, right?
that's it. I just think, yeah, look, I think it's one of them things where you think you've got a certain team and a makeup of the team, and then think you get into the year and certain things aren't looking good, or you could maybe adjust here and there, and
Things change, right?
yeah, that's it. Everything can change, mate, and I think at the minute we've won three on the bounce, and I really like the buy-in from the lads last week. Weekend we've just gone's probably been the best we've been all year. And we
Tell for the flying high. They're no fucking mugs right now. So
yeah, Telford are a lot more offensively dangerous this year, mate. And yeah, that game was I was proud the fact that we got out first period 4-0 flying. I was like, wow, and then they came back. They was always going to come back into the game. Came back into the game, pushed, and we really defended really well. And that was good to see. Do you know what I mean? So there's things like that in our game that I'm like,
just like the buy-in and like boys
yeah,
blocking shots and
that's
filling
it.
lanes and
Yeah,
back checking.
yeah, stuff
All
like
the
that.
shit that takes zero skill, but it
Yeah.
takes 100% buy-in.
I say this all the time, speak to Aaron all the time, and it's like the maddest thing is you're asking you're asking some of like your like real skilled guys who you're not asking them to do anything that's like I'm never asking the skill guys I've got to make unreal plays and like dangle people and do things that like the majority of people can't do. I'm just asking them to do literally the thing that everyone can do. And that's the
Work.
maddest thing. It's like, yeah, work. It's put your work boots on and just work really hard, mate. And just care a little bit more about the other side of the game. The other side, like I'm not asking you to go down and dangle anybody. Literally, I know that's probably a given to their game, but I'm just all you want is that the other side of it, and you're probably going to be where they're about. So it's getting a tune out of them, mate. You know how it is. It's getting the most out of the lads that you've got, and um, yeah, like I say, I think we're on the right tracks, mate. I think we're there or thereabouts, and it's coming. I like the signs. We've got good lads in the room, um, and they want to win, mate. They care. Bobby, Huey, good leaders, people that have been there, seen it, done it, and it's like you need that. You know what I mean? So,
How was the bus trip back from fucking Bristol after getting your titties pumped 9-4?
well, I said the
Did you
thing.
pull did you pull the Tony hand? Did you pull the fucking no beers on the bus? Sticking it.
Oh, yeah, mate. I pulled that, and I pulled because I sit at the front now, which is shit. 'Cause I always used to sit at the back and but I sit at the front now, and just sort of behind me, I've got like all the young lads, like 18, 19, and they don't even
Snapchat.
speak. They don't speak to each other in like any like words of like, "Are you all right?" It's just like, "All right, dog tits," or "All right, all right, fat cunt," or like there's no like niceties ever said. It's just like, and all they do is just sit there and kill each other all day and just giggle. And I was I was losing my head after the game, and I was going into it big in. And I turned around at the last thing, and I went, "And if I hear you lot fucking giggling on the way home, I'll fucking throw you off the bus or something." I looked like
You
right,
give him the
like
dad chat. You
yeah,
gave him
mate,
the
that
dad
was it.
chat,
And
mate.
yeah.
Oh, brutal.
But it's like, yeah, I was angry, mate. You know what I mean? I think when you get on the bus, you sort of an hour later, you're like, fucking hell, like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
not
you calm
that
down a
big
wee
of a
bit.
fucking deal, you know what I mean? But it's like, you just want people to care about it, which they all do. You know what I mean? It's just lads in it, lads are lads, and they're gonna have a laugh, like so.
Yeah,
But
well,
yeah,
we all did it when we played. You
yeah,
lose on the road and
that's it.
someone stuck a few fucking cans on the back of the bus, and
Yeah,
and like we said, no one's getting rich out of this game. And the thing
yeah.
that ultimately, when we talk about what we miss about the game, it's bus trips, it's the fucking shooting the shit before training and doing all the fun stuff. But ultimately, if you get your fucking titties pumped 9-4, you've got to at least hear about it.
Yeah, that's it, mate. I think it's getting the balance right in it, and um, yeah, and the biggest thing, mate, was like I always say this to them, like anyone can beat you. Like and this is what I said actually before the game. I says, and this isn't like a slight on Bristol or anything like that. It's just in the way I see it. There's only one way that team's going to beat us, lads, and is it literally if we do exactly what you just did and
Yeah,
just
capitulate. Yeah.
literally just turn up and not want to fight and not battle and not do the hard stuff. Um, and that was the most disappointing thing because you sat there like, again, like this is the easiest thing. Anyone can just work hard. You know what I mean? So,
That was
but
a Ryan Aldridge favourite, wasn't it? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
literally, yeah, it's bang on, mate. Yeah, and like I always sort of use sort of Ryan as a measuring stick in terms of like how he's managed to drive that team so like insanely like they're just the mentality and but it's no secret, mate. Like we played with Ryan, like we know what he was like as a person, as a player, and yeah, I mean, like I'm not sort of too proud to say it. Like I do. I was similar in a sense of like we just worked our bag off, and that's it. I try and bring a bit of that and a bit of like just boys, the non-negotiables are this, and I won't accept anyone just because you're a better player or just because you got 100 points last year that you can just turn that
Yeah,
off.
no one
Like
gives
it's
a
just
shit.
not a, you know what I mean? No one cares. Exactly. You didn't win fuck all. No one gives a fuck. Like you've got to do that side of the game or you won't be on the team, and that's just how you have to be. So
Let's look at your results, right? I've been scanning through while you've been chatting. 5-3 against the Dogs. Like, it's a fucking a goal here or there.
yeah.
Swindon 4-2, goal here or there. A 3-2 overtime loss to MK, goal here or there. Swindon 4-3, goal here or there. uh, you do have this in the locker where you got that such ridiculous offense that you've got. Do you know when I talk about this on the podcast, I always forget Huey. I'm always like, you got fucking four import forwards, you got Bobby, you got Bones, you got Bruton, you got.
Yeah.
We're gonna get onto the young kid in a minute. We're gonna talk about him. Forget about fucking. You got like Huey there, like you got fucking
I
95-point scorer, like.
know.
So yeah, you're always going to have that potential to have a breakout game. You
Yeah.
put nine on Solway, and then we're right back to a goal here or there. Fucking Peterborough Phantoms 4-3.
Yeah.
Again, you bag six against Romford, and then you're on that wrong end of a hiding against Hull, which was against Bristol. Sorry, where the rest of your losses are kind of come by a
No,
goal
mate,
here or a goal
it
there.
was so
And then since then,
uncharacteristic.
three wins, mate.
Yeah, it was so uncharacteristic what and like we've honestly I can't tell you how much we've gone over like the defensive side of the game. Like video from day one of camp, it was just because I know if we get that right, the other side, the chances, the things that'll come will just come.
Well,
And
yeah, you got like 4,000 goals up front, mate, if you need
yeah,
it.
I mean, and that is it. And it's
Like,
like, yeah, and I'm sat there going, everyone thinks we're just going to be this like 6-5 team, 7-6. And I'm like, I can't tell you how much like that is just not in the plan. And if you look at our goals against, it's really good still. Even though we take that Bristol game out, but it's still really good. I think we're like third in the league if you take Basingstoke. Obviously, they haven't played the amount of games yet, but
yeah, yeah, with you.
so in terms of goals against me, it was so uncharacteristic. So. Yeah, it was one of them, mate. And like you say, a goal either there. Like the two games that really stand out to me, the MK game at home, we should have won that game. Um, and the Peterborough game away. Like I think the other ones, I think Sheffield, the first game of the year, that they should have beat us. We was great for 30 minutes. They were better than us, and I think they deserve to win for the last 30, 100%. I think the Swindon games there was just more of a complete team at that point of the year than we was. Um, I think them two MK and Peterborough games are like, no, we should have won them games.
So you
So
could be sitting like three, four,
yeah,
5, 6 points
yeah,
further ahead than where you are right now. So
yeah,
it's basically the message to the Seahawks fans is no need for panic stations, like
yeah.
because you're in the mix, right?
I think I can just sort of say that I know what I've got, and I think I know looking at the performances we've put out without that, but you lost. And in terms of like a coaching head and going, no, I really liked our game actually. Yeah, we switched off for them two shifts, but for the majority of the game, we was actually really, really good. And yeah, I've just got to keep banging that drum, and I like that's all you can do as a coach and go, no, lads, like you're on the right tracks. You've done a lot of stuff really good. Um, and then one goal games will come the other way. I just think that's what will happen.
It's
That's
hockey,
the
mate.
way I
That
see it.
is what happens.
Yeah,
What one weekend a crossbar or a post will save your ass,
yeah,
and the next week, it goes crossbar in, and you fucking lose an OT, and it doesn't save your ass, and it's half an
that's
inch
it.
either way, and it's these things, and when when you get onto a little three gamer, you get onto that little 3 game run, then it becomes four, and all of a sudden you're like, fuck, we got these two teams next weekend. I believe that we should win that. And all of a sudden you're 12 points out of 12 in the last 6 games, and you've jumped up 4 positions in the league, and everything's
Yeah,
everything's rosy, and nobody's looking at the 1 goals, 2 goals losses at the start of the year. Like, let's look at what you've got ahead. Obviously, tough game away in Leeds. Ryan's got them boys flying on, well, there's a prime example of what we're just talking about. They come out and they lose two off the fucking hop.
yeah,
They lose their first 2 games. And they haven't lost since. They've just turned it. Everyone's writing them off. That's it. They're fucking finished.
just
Three in
winning
a
the
row.
streak.
They're done. They're
Yeah,
finished. And then they just haven't lost since. Like, it's when you've got a good team. If you get the boys rolling.
that's
Remember
it, mate.
Guildford did it in BNL. They
Yeah,
had to win like 26 out of their last 27 games.
yeah,
And they went on like a 28 game winning streak or something.
yeah,
Like, you can get these guys fired up, and your
yeah,
goalie gets hot at the right time. You manage to get discipline. And there's a lot of factors. Discipline comes under control.
yeah.
Nobody gets hurt. There's just so many factors that go into having a productive team throughout the year. But sorry, getting sidetracked. Leeds, and then you got Phantoms at home.
Yeah,
Following week, Phantoms home, Phantoms away. Sorry, and then the
yeah.
following weekend you got MK and Sheffield Steel Dogs.
Yeah, we've got a
So
tough run, mate. 5 games now that are, yeah, like tough ones, you know what I mean? And I think
you
in a
take
in
6 points right now.
yeah, I mean, looking at what you've got, yeah, you would take 6 points out of them games purely down to at the end of the day, like them games that you're playing, no one going into them games thinks anyone knows who's going to win them games ever.
There's not a
Like
favourite, is there?
it
Like,
just isn't anymore. Like not in any of them games now. So yeah, it's just whoever the best team is on the night. And usually, I always say this, whoever the best goalie is, mate, is probably going to win.
yeah,
That's generally how it ends up. And that we know how big Gozzy is for them. Like he's just been
stud.
just a joke. So it's like, yeah,
Glad you brought up the goalies because that seems to be the hot topic of the week. Even though import goalies have been allowed in the league for 2 years now. Um, Fan of the import goalie rule? Not a fan. Do you think it's a necessity right now until we get some more talent come through?
I
Um,
think,
where do
think,
you kind of stand on it?
I think for me, I think on the British side of it, I would say in terms of like what do we need to happen? We need British goalies to play. But what I would actually say is for me, don't put a I just don't think we can put a limit on where you can have people and where you can't. For me, it's like, right, this is what you can have. You can have 4 import forwards or 4 imports allowed, and you construct the team that you think is the best team for you.
Yeah,
And look, if Peterborough pick an import goalie, well, guess what? There's probably a British player that's playing on D. So I
yeah.
think people just solely see it as, oh, well, the goal is this. What about that young D man that's 18 that's playing 18 minutes, 20 minutes a night? Like
Where he
it's
wouldn't have got any ice time because there's an import D man playing.
import D man. Yeah, exactly. So I just think for me, let's be honest, there ain't enough goalies at that level now. The league's gone. I think in this last 2 years, it's gone bang, bang. And I just don't think there's enough. So I think there's that. And I also just think, no, you give them 4 imports, 5 imports, you construct the team however you want to do it, mate. And what will be, will be. And I also think the British goalies that are playing will only get better. I mean, if you look at ours, for instance, obviously Dima being there, done it for a long time
Legit.
legit. But then you look at Geordie McLaughlin, who I've had for 4 years, and I've sort of backed him and backed him. Like this year has been unreal. Like, and it's one of them where like I'm proud of him to see his like progression and where he's been able to get to.
Coming
And
to
it's all,
fruition, like after the
yeah,
4 years, it's
that's it. And it's always sort of been my plan to be like, no, I want you to be my starter. Like, if I can get you to be my starter in 4 or 5 years, we're winning, aren't we? Like
yeah.
Leeds, like. you could say it go on and on. Headley, like there's so many like really good ones, or there's not that many, but there's ones that are like been there for so long and added to the team for so many years. Like it's such a big plus to have a starting British goalie.
Oh, absolutely. It allows you that opportunity to load up front with
Yeah.
forwards and D-men. Something that also gives you the capability of being able to do that is the fact that your Brit forwards are pretty stacked. You got Bobby Chamberlain sitting on 19 points, 12 goals in 10 games. Fucking great start to the year for Bobby. Not only that, only the two Pims for Bobby. Um,
Yeah, do you know what, mate? I think obviously it's something that I speak to him about quite a bit. And it's one of them where I just say to him, look, Bob, like, you know this as well because you've been like that player, but it's like, mate, how long are you going to be the guy that people go, oh, yeah, he's one of them. He'll just take a penalty, or yeah, he's just an idiot, or yeah, he's all right, but he's never on the ice too. And I say to him, and I've always known this because obviously I've known him since he was a kid. I'm like, Bob, you're better than that. Like you're actually way better of a player than what everyone thinks.
oh, he's
So
so good, yeah.
let's show him that. You know what I mean? And yeah, I mean he's improved as a person. He's matured. His game's come on massively. Don't get me wrong. He'll always look at me and be like, "Can I go?" It's
Yeah, like,
like looking at me like literally, can I please? Like, and I'm
giving
just
you the meerkat vibes from behind the
yeah,
bench.
mate,
Like, fuck
literally, yeah,
you.
literally like that. And I'm
Just
like,
waiting for the tap, waiting
yeah,
for that.
well, literally, I can say this because it happened on Sunday, mate, and um, I can't remember who got it now. What happened? Someone got it. I can't remember what happened now. But anyway, and I'm screaming on the bench. I'm like, fucking somebody, fucking do something. I'm like, Josh, DJ, Deck Jones, young kid who's massive, tough kid. Fudge, Chris Fugalis who can fight. I'm like, someone do something. Do not let him do it. Like Bobby. Because that's the thing. Like I know he can do it, but I don't need to see that. No one does. Like, stay
No.
on the ice, mate. Like, stay on and score.
Yeah,
Let them do it. Like, let them do it. You know what I
keep
mean?
running at a 1.2 goals per game clip,
Yeah,
and we'll be all right
exactly,
here.
mate.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
And we've got the lads that can. So it's like Josh stepped up, did it, mate. Like, great. Love to see it. You
good
know what I
tilt.
mean?
Good to see both boys. Like,
Yeah,
did it the right way. You can't
yeah,
bitch about it for all the talk that I've had over the last fucking 5 episodes about slashes to the head and cross checks to the
yeah,
head. It's we had those boys go at it. We had
yeah.
Hamill and Fielder go at it.
Yeah, it was a good weekend
Uh,
to show what should be done.
Last weekend, Cooper
Yeah,
and Power.
yeah.
Like, I would say, boys, if you're going to square off, you might as well take your helmets off. Like,
You've got them. One thing I
stop.
always say, like, just take them
For
off.
someone that's broke this hand 9 times
Yeah,
and this hand two,
yeah.
punching helmets is not fucking
It's
fun
just
for
not
anybody.
like smart, is it? Like
It's
I'm
not,
one of
no.
them. Like I'm like, boys, if a fight comes about 100% like fight, but fight smartly, like take your helmet off,
Don't get
make sure
injured.
they do. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like
100%.
it's just smart, innit? Like fucking I'll break your hand, fucking look, you know what I mean? How many people have done
Yeah,
that? It's like,
this guy
yeah,
quite a few times. This is
yeah,
why that's why that knuckles there, and that's why this pinky does that,
yeah.
and then
Don't go back.
like that's
Yeah,
me. That I'm trying as hard as I can, like the effort to
done.
get it to come in. Like it is done, and that is from ultimately like punching ice hockey helmets. They're not designed to be punched. Um,
Solid
but like
plastic
this,
thing.
it does sound though, mate. Like, and from looking from the outside in. Sounds like you boys are just right there in and amongst it. And the great thing is, the National League, anyone can fucking beat anybody. Like,
Yeah, mate.
this shit's wild. There's no like, oh, Leeds are going to Basingstoke tonight. They're going to win 8-1. Leeds can come down to Basingstoke in 2, 3 weeks here when Basingstoke have been in their own barn for 3, 4 weeks having a few
Yeah,
ice skates. And Basingstoke can beat them 4-1. And you
yeah.
can't then be like, oh my God, they beat them 4-1. You just be like, yeah,
That's
it
the league,
like
innit?
you boys go
Literally.
down to Bristol, you lose 9-4. You're
Yeah,
like, okay, the result wise, like
yeah,
goals wise, yeah, you might be a little bit shocked, but you
yeah,
can't be shocked that Bristol beat Hull now
no,
because you look at the rosters and you
yeah,
look at the rosters across the league. Like Solway are about to play fucking 9 and 10 at home here or something like that.
yeah.
Don't, don't be shocked if they bounce up 4 positions in the league. Like there's these things that can happen in that National League now. Did anyone have Telford Tigers third after 12 games? I fucking didn't.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, nobody probably. Yeah. Do you
Like
know?
if we're being honest with ourselves, like they probably didn't.
Yeah, they were of no chance. Like Tommy, I think I spoke to Tommy in the summer, and I asked him. I says, "What do you think to your lads?" He was like, "Yeah, I think we'll be all right." Do you know? Like it wasn't like nah,
Yeah, just
really. Do you know what I mean? Like he likes his imports. It wasn't like yeah. So I mean, what a coach! So he always gets a tune out of his
great
players. Like
coach. Yeah,
that's just what Tommy does. But do you know what it is, mate? As well, I would say the testament and what says a lot for me on how the league is now is every single team is really good on their home ice. Like every night you go away is gonna be a very difficult night. It don't matter where you go. Not one rink is easy to go to. And that says to me a lot about how good the league is.
yeah, and you know the kind of thing that the coach says at the start of the year when your home games win 500 during the playoffs. Okay, so just win all your home games. Like,
Yeah,
and it's just, it sounds simpler than what it actually is because there's a lot of good teams in that
lot,
league,
mate.
and
Yeah,
you can genuinely look across. And don't get me wrong, when I do the podcast every now and again, and not a lot of thought goes into it, the fixtures pop up at the top, and you go, right, I fucking fancy Hull here, and I fancy Bristol there, and I fancy who. It's not like I'm sitting down, breaking it down, analysing every little thing,
yeah.
but it's a damn sight harder nowadays to go.
Oh, it is.
If you like the old football pools and you were doing the accumulator every week, you'd be
Yeah.
fucked every week.
Yeah, you would in this league now, 100%. I mean, you look at the Elite League and you're like, pretty much can guess a lot of it. You know what I mean? Like genuinely, like them
You're not
top
far
teams,
away.
no, but you can guess a lot of it. Like honestly, in our league now, I don't think if say there was 5 games pretty much in there every Saturday, Sunday, like I don't think you're guessing four. No chance. There's
It's hard.
always a game or 2 games where you're like, fucking hell, didn't see that coming. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's like Leeds, they've won 8 on the bounce, 9 on the bounce, whatever it is. They could go out this weekend and get 0 points. And
Yeah,
everyone's going to be like, fucking what? And
yeah.
then you could have a team that, maybe like a Romford or Solway that haven't really had the results. Solway back on home ice for 2 games this home weekend. They might take 3 points off of Swindon. And you're like, fucking hell. Like, all of a sudden, like, it's just, and that can't be a bad thing. It's only a good
No,
thing. It's a
it's
positive for everybody that's involved.
it's
And it
great for the
also,
product. Really is. It's
do you know what
great.
also it's good for, Matty, is, you might be finding yourself at some point, you're 10 points behind. And you go, boys, don't forget, this league, they could drop 4 points this weekend.
Yeah.
You could get 4 points this weekend. It's now only 6 points. The same happens twice in the next 5 weeks. And that 10 point gap is now fucking zero. And everybody's back in the mix. And, you'd be sort of over the course of the year, other than the year where Leeds just, that they got on
I think
Seabiscuit and
I
rode it
think
into the
every
ground.
year it's got
It's
closer. Yeah, like
closer and
every
closer and
year, like
closer.
last year, I think what was it, 1 point they won it, and then year before it was less, and then like the year
Right.
before they
Yeah.
absolutely smashed everybody,
Yeah.
and now, yeah, like I don't think anyone could pick right now. Like it's yeah, one of them in it. Whoever has a
Couple
run,
more questions, mate.
whoever
Sorry.
has a run.
Sorry, mate.
No, just
A
whoever.
couple more questions. We've picked on the hockey brain. We've picked on the coaching brain. Let's pick on the kind of GM ownery, off ice kind of side of the game. Fan wise, getting people through the door and stuff like that. How's that been? Settling into the community after 4 years. Have you guys kind of found your spot? Because Hull's, as you say, it's a big rugby league town. It's got decent level of football as well. It's quite a sport. It's quite a sporting city. Like how are you boys finding like getting fans through the door and like finding your way into the city and being a name that people associate with the city?
Yeah, I mean, like coming back in, it was one of them where I knew we'd get back them hardcore that were like, just dying for it to come back. But you're probably talking about 400 or 500 people that have been going for years, and they love it, and you're getting them. And I think over the past 4 years, there's been, for me anyway, because I've been there for so long, just an evolution in watching the different people that have been into the rink. So like it's always similar for us. Like September, October is always fairly quiet. Um, because rugby's just finishing. I don't think people are fully sort of not aware that we start, but I think it's just such a big sport here, rugby, that obviously the two sports and they're just sort of finishing. People are season ticket holders or whatever. I just think it sort of takes a bit of time. Um, and then literally, but sort of during this time, we've still averaged like 1,200, which is, yeah, I mean,
That's good.
what did we do? I think 1450 we did Sunday. Um,
That's awesome, mate.